Well, folks, here again for the weekly forecast. Of course, during this last week, we dealt with the wind and the heat. In the early part of the forecast, we've seen thunderstorms develop on Monday across the Panhandle that brought tornadic activity to the Bay Area and points to the north and east of there. Then we've seen a little lull as that system moved across during the daylight hours across western Nebraska, only to see redevelopment along that front as we got into Tuesday afternoon. And so areas from central Nebraska eastward seen convective activity with the most concentrated area of precipitation in central, south central, and east central Nebraska. Northeast Nebraska was more spotty as we've seen the thunderstorm complexes skip around. And then we've seen redevelopment on Thursday and Friday across southern Nebraska in response to systems moving right across northern Kansas. So as we go through this weekend, we're also dealing with a more active pattern. And as we go to the upper air model, what we will notice is the jet stream with this dip is moving through, bringing the thunderstorms to our region currently, with the expectations of possibly seeing some coming through tonight, as we have low pressure systems at the surface over Wisconsin and the Texas Panhandle pumping up moisture from the Gulf. So you can see a widespread complex is expected Saturday from Iowa eastward, and this front pulls through. We may see some of this activity reach our region in the overnight hours. That's going to lead to a fairly nice day on Sunday with a northwest flow, high pressure in place, a little bit cooler conditions than we've seen here on Friday and Saturday. As the main complex of storms moves to our northeast, any residual moisture will be across southeastern Nebraska during the early morning hours. But more importantly, as we get into Monday, it looks like it's going to be a fairly clear day for us with warming temperatures. High pressure dominates most of central and northern plains. Low pressure in the Texas Panhandle will not be a factor in our weather. That will help feed moisture into this frontal boundary that we're moving across the eastern United States. As we get into the day on Tuesday, we see that ridge kind of stationary, northwest flow. Most of the activity that's going to line up in this northwest flow will remain to the north of us. And in terms of precipitation, basically measured at the surface, the most concentrated area of precipitation will probably be around the Great Lakes region. Then as we get into Wednesday, this frontal boundary, or basically this zonal flow, will basically allow systems to start generating at the surface in Texas and across the western Nebraska Panhandle. But unfortunately, the moisture looks like it's going to remain to the east of us, with just eastern Nebraska having the best opportunity for precipitation. But a more generous chance for precipitation will be as this frontal boundary sags through on Thursday in the upper atmosphere. This will allow this low pressure system, the Texas Panhandle, to lift moisture up into a region to interact with that. So the eastern one-third of the state has the best area for precipitation. And as we go into the day on Friday, that system starts to dig even deeper into the Great Lakes, bringing a much cooler air into the region, and it's going to increase precipitation, unfortunately, for those areas in the eastern Corn Belt that have received consecutive days of precipitation, so widespread moisture to our east. Now, as we go out even farther into the forecast for Thursday through the following Tuesday, looking at above normal temperatures, cold to our north, and in terms of precipitation, although CPC is indicating below normal moisture, there is another active frontal boundary starting to move into our region that I think is going to generate much more precipitation than is currently depicted by the graphical models.